Okay, so how do we eliminate the parameter like is in this, like in this quiz? Well, if we take a look in the textbook, I'm looking at what page am I looking at? I'm looking at 478, and it says, maybe it's not 478. Oh, heck, it jumped on me, didn't it? Here we go. And 477, we talk about eliminate the parameter, and they have these things. These are easy because it's just x and t and y and t. So you solve one of them for t, substitute it in the other equation, solve for x, solve for y, yada yada. But then they give us this one with trig, and that's like that one that you're trying to do. Now they're doing this thing. Oh, let's graph it. Let's see. Oh, it looks like a circle. Maybe we can find the radius. You can also do this algebraically, and it's not all that hard. And you've already done this math. You just aren't making the connection. Maybe you are making the connection. I don't know where you're at when watching this video. So what we can do for this one, I'm going to show you how to do this algebraically, and then maybe I'll give you a hint on where to start with that quiz question. What if we take this and solve this for t? Well, doesn't that mean I have to divide by 2? And how do I what's the inverse operation for finding the cosine of something? Well, I hope you can say, well, oh, it's doing the arc cosine of both sides, right? Oh boy, that did not look like the cosine. Let me clean that up just a minute. I said it, I just wrote it very sloppy. So the arc cosine of x over 2. And if I do the arc cosine of the cosine, isn't that just t? So then I can come back and I can substitute in the second equation. Any place I see a t, I can replace it with arc cosine x over 2. How do I do this so you can read this? Here, just a minute here. Let me start up a paint program. Oh, look at that. Oh, nice. So I'll just do it. Maybe I'll do the rest of this natively in paint rather than with the Zoom software. So since I know that y equals 2 sine t, I can replace the t with the arc cosine. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to switch to using the inverse. I'm trying to use the Zoom software, Zoom tools, and not paint. I'm going to switch this to the -1 using that, cosine -1 for the arc of x over 2. And then what we did not too long ago, we said, let's evaluate sine of the arc cosine of x over 2. So we said, hey, let u equal the cos of some angle, or maybe we said y, or it doesn't really, that's kind of our, let's not use y because we've got y here. Well, let's call it u. Oops, Dan. All right, so let's call that u. That's the arc cosine of x over 2. Now we're kind of going to go backwards here a little bit, because isn't that just, if I do the cosine of both sides, and that's just the same as cosine u equals x over 2. And we've seen that before up here. So, but to link it back to what we did earlier, if this is angle u, and we know the cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, we know this is x, we know this is 2. So using the Pythagorean theorem, we can get 4 minus x squared, then take the square root, and that's that side. And so we want to evaluate what's 2 sine of u, because that's what we did that substitution. Well, the sine of that angle u is going to be 2 times the opposite, 4 minus x squared, all over the hypotenuse, which is 2. And what happens here? Those 2's cancel out. So I'm left with y equals the square root of 4 minus x squared. And this is where we start thinking, oh, boy, it'd be nice to not have a square root in our equation. So if I square both sides, Dan, it's been a long day. Can you tell? I'm going to square both sides, and I wrote 2 again. Sorry, y squared. Get it right this time. Y squared equals 4 minus x squared. And if we bring the x squared over to the y squared plus 4 y squared equals 4. And that's a circle centered at the origin with a radius of 2, right? So, and that kind of corresponds to what they did. Let's see, let me come back and so you can take a look at the textbook. See, that's what they came up with here. It says x squared plus y squared equals 4. So they did it with this graphical magic, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. I mean, that's fine. But you can also do it algebraically with what you already know. So now come back to this quiz here. Let me stop the share for a minute because I don't want to flash everybody's grades or names because right now nobody knows whose quiz that is. I'd like to keep it that way. Okay. Come back and share my screen again. Share screen. Here we go. So for this one here, let's see, annotate, draw. If we want to do that same kind of thing, don't we want to, solve it for t? So want that be x over 5 equals cosine of t, and then we'll do the arc cosine of x over 5 equals t, and then we do that substitution in the other equation, and I think you'll see where this goes. Okay, so give it a whirl, try to do it. You were on the person that tried this. It's getting there. You knew you had to do a substitution. You just didn't solve the value for t. Okay, so hopefully that helped. Give a yell if you need more help.